As a busy mom and dairy farmer, I'm always looking for ways to support my family's health as well as my own, and I absolutely love Wonder Cow Colostrum. It's packed with essential nutrients, great for supporting gut health, boosts immunity, and promotes overall wellness. Whether it's for me, my kids, or anyone looking to stay strong and healthy, Wonder Cow is my go-to daily supplement. I've been taking it for a year now, and it is irreplaceable in my daily routine. If you want to experience the amazing benefits of colostrum too, you can use my special code DairyGalVal at checkout for a discount. Give Wonder Cow a try, and you will definitely feel the difference.
Hey, I'm Val Lavigne, farmer, mom, and host of this here Pull Up a Bale podcast. This is where real stories from rural life meet bold conversations about the future of agriculture. So pull up a bale and let's chat. Today on the bale is someone I've actually known for quite a long time and looked up to her as a child and all of those fun things. And now she's pretty much a neighbor and a fellow in the space. Samantha Allen, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. And I almost called you by your maiden name because I think you, like me, when you are so well known
Yes.
throughout the industry with your maiden name and then you get married and no matter how long you're married for, people are still just like, no.
And I think the more unique your name is, like Hanahan, it kind of sticks.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So with that being said, I know quite a bit about you. Why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Samantha Allen. I am the wife of Travis Allen. We are owners of Allen Waite Farms in Schaghticoke, Easton, New York. We have 5 incredible children. We got Lucy is 14, Penny is 12, Scarlett is 10, Bennett is 8, and Wilder is 5. I have to think through how old everybody is now. We have winter birthdays, so everybody's about to shift their birthdays.
You have to relearn their ages all over again.
Yes, and I feel like a fool because a couple of them, their birthdays are super close or the numbers are the same. And when I get to the pharmacy and they say, what's their birthday? I can't think of it.
I always have to, yeah.
Yes.
I only have 3 and 2 share a birthday. So
Oh, yes, that's right. So we have 5 kids, and in 2021, I started a flower business. I wasn't busy enough with the kids and the farm and everything else, and created Lane House Florals. And we is me. The Royals, me. I do wedding flowers, event flowers, roadside flowers, and a big part of our business is actually dahlia tubers. And all of that is kind of fueled and helped along by social media. So that's where I am right now.
Awesome. And I cannot believe your oldest is 14.
I know, it's crazy. It helps when you start really young. Like I had Lucy when I was 24. And as I'm approaching 40, I'm so grateful for God's timing in everything into my life. And now I have I can't tell her this yet, but my little best friends, right? Still have to pretend, no, I'm your mother. But oh, they're so sweet. And I just love the relationships that are developing between them and the relationships that Travis and I get to have with them. It truly is the greatest blessing in our lives is our crew. We have a big crew, but they're all amazing.
They say it gets to see, and I think that they say 3 is the hardest number of children to have. And I just am so nervous that I would have twins again that I'm like, nope, we're good. We're gonna stay here.
I think a big part of why we wound up with so many children is the influence of my sister-in-law and the people who were my friends when I was in those childbearing years. My sister-in-law now has 6. And I think when you see someone else do it and joyfully do it and do it well, you realize I could do that. And I think today don't have a lot of kids. So we're not seeing those examples. And so the thought of even attempting the 4th or the 5th or the 6th child feels totally overwhelming. So I feel very fortunate that I saw someone else do it. And I thought, hey, that is pretty amazing. So
I can do this.
Yeah, 5 kids to me doesn't seem like a ton. But in our school, I think we might be the only one with 5 kids. It's crazy. People don't have that anymore.
No, and it's the generation, our parents' generation And I mean, I guess maybe even a little bit further than that. I mean, my dad is one of 10, which
Yes.
is like bananas. And I see there's like a 20-year age gap in there. And I'm like, that's crazy.
I
Like,
think that's
imagine starting at 18 or 20, but then I can't imagine being 40 and having a baby.
That
Like
is the craziest part to me, and I will
having,
say this fall, we sent Wilder to kindergarten, and so that was the first time in 14 years that, like, I haven't had a little one with me, and it was a really big transition for me personally because, like, that's a long time. That's, like, most of my adult life, I had a
yeah,
baby or a toddler, someone with me, and now that he's in school, I feel really sad, but really free. And it's really quiet in the house. And the house stays clean. And now I get like, I love the idea of a sweet little baby, but I don't really want to go back to square one. So we're moving onward and upward to the next stages.
yes, definitely. I'm sure that, I mean, when my kids were still in public school, and when my little guy went to kindergarten, I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I do
Yeah.
with myself in the middle of the day? Like, hold on.
I
There,
get that question so much. And I totally get why people ask it. Like when he was going to kindergarten, everybody said, okay, you have no kids at home. What are you going to do with all your free time?
plenty to do.
It killed me because I'm like, I'm running a business. I'm
Yep.
taking care of a house. I'm supporting my husband in his crazy adventures. Like, I'm going to do everything that I'm already doing, except I don't have to drag poor Wilder like with me on these adventures. So, life is plenty busy, even with everybody in school. And we're
Yes.
very fortunate because, like, our kids love their school. Like, we have such a great district and they love it, so I don't feel guilt of them being away because I know that they're
They're
having
happy.
fun and learning and happy, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it is funny how you seem like you are going to have all this extra time not toting a kid around, and you still find there's just more things to do.
Yeah,
Things never slow down. That's
yes,
the biggest trap ever.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. Always thinking next week is gonna be calmer, and next week is never calmer, but
No. And it just keeps
someday
going. It's like hamster wheel.
I think, though, it's true what people say, like, someday when we actually reach next week and it is calm, we're gonna be so sad that all the weeks before are over. So I guess that's the as you know, as much as you hear it, that's the reminder of like we have to enjoy the craziness because we'll be
Yes.
sad when it's boring.
I know. I'm pretty sure that I would not be a very good sedentary person.
I think you're right. I don't think you would.
I don't think that I would sit very well. I mean, like, just when I've had to be laid up in the past, I go stir crazy very quickly.
That is like farm kid life, though. I feel like we were raised on a farm, right? And so, like, the expectation is that you're always working, you're always busy. And, like, there is definitely in farm families, like, there's an emphasis placed that, like, laziness is like the ultimate sin. And I think it kind of trains us to be industrious all the time, to be working all the time. Like, sometimes I feel like it's a little too much. Like, I need to dial it down a little and like read a book, but I think we're hardwired as farm kids. Like
Mhm.
we got to keep moving. So I think that's part of it.
Stop when you're dead.
Yeah.
That's how that saying goes. You can stop when you're dead.
Yes.
Do you, in fact, prioritize, at least during the winter, because it helps me keep myself? So I don't know about you, this time change. It was like 5 o'clock last night, and I was like, and it's bedtime. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with all these dark hours? It's terrible.
Yes. Yes. I feel like it
But
helps us realize why Christmas is when it is because, like, we need the season of twinkly lights and candles because it's so dark here. I mean, for people who aren't in upstate New York, like, what is
yeah,
it? It's like 4:30. It's getting dark. 5 o'clock.
well,
It's pitch black.
yeah,
It's
no, cold and miserable, and it's just not for me.
Yeah, my sister is in West Texas on a dairy there, and they're like, I'll call her, and it's like the middle of the dark, or the middle of the night here, and I call her, and like the sun is out, and it's bright, and I still would take upstate New York. It is, in my humble opinion, the most beautiful place in the world.
It is. If we
What?
could do with a little less winter and a little less darkness, we are. Other than that, the winter and darkness can fly a kite
Yeah,
because
yeah, I agree.
for sure. Not for me. And it is a good excuse, like in the middle of the winter, to go on vacation. Somewhere's nice because if you live somewhere's nice, like what do you do for vacation?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that's
I
true.
already live somewhere's nice.
The worrier in me is always that I'll plan a winter vacation and there will be like a nor'easter and all the flights will be grounded. So we're busy. We spend a lot of our winter now. Somehow we are a basketball family. So we don't go anywhere in the winter because everybody's doing basketball and everybody's busy. And that's what gets me through winter is just had the fun of watching them all play. I don't know how that happened. It just magically one day I looked around and I had all these kids in sports and a full winter schedule.
And we bounce from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. So I want to dial it back and talk about your childhood. You've already alluded to growing up on a dairy farm. So if you want to talk a little bit about, what it was like for you growing up on a farm as a child and the things that you did when you were a kid.
Sure. I grew up actually on a dairy farm right up off of Saratoga Lake. And the farm, it's Hanahan Family Dairy, owned and operated by my dad, Cliff, and his two brothers, Charlie and Dave. And we had the epitome of like the farm childhood. Like all of the kids came to the farm every single day in the summer, if on the weekends. And we just we were like the boxcar children. We were like feral children in the woods making homes and playing on old broke down equipment. And then, we also had a lot of responsibilities of working, which I think really, like we were saying earlier, shaped a lot of my personality. I think I was probably more prone to the romantic and fanciful and fairy tales and daydreaming and reading books, and having a farm childhood was like a good balance of like, okay, that's great, but we also have to have practicality and hard work and dedication. So I think the marriage of those two things kind of is who I have become as an adult. I still love the magic, but also like the hard work. So I grew up working on the farm. By the time I was, early teens, I went through the stage of I hate it. I want nothing to do with it. I would climb up in a pine tree with my book and hide and hope my dad wouldn't find me and make me go work. But luckily, my dad is an incredible person. He is such a mentor to young people, especially to young women in agriculture. And he was patient and took me alongside. And by the time I was probably 17, I was working full time assisting our herdswoman, who also taught me a lot. And we were doing all the herds work on the farm. And that was pretty much all the way up until I went to SUNY Oneonta. I was considering going to college for music or theater, and pragmatist inside of me was like, what are you going to do? Like, you're a homebody. You don't want to travel to New York City or somewhere else. And so I decided to go to Oneonta originally for communications. I don't know what I thought I wanted to do. At one point, I think it was to be like a weather girl, which would be terrible. Um, and in my first semester, I had a couple history courses, and I realized, wow, like this is it. I love history because history is a story. It's a story of people and adventures, and I was really drawn to it. So I thought, okay, what can I do with history? And one of the only practical options was to be a history teacher. So I switched my major to secondary education and graduated. And during that time period, I had come home during the summer and I was frustrated and said to the herdswoman that I was working with, I'm like, "Ugh, there's no good guys. There's no good guys around." And she said, well, actually, I am going to a meeting tonight and there's this young single guy and you should come and meet him. And I went out of my comfort zone and I went with her. And the meeting actually had a tour at this farm that I had like really not heard much about. It's only 25 minutes from my home farm, but like the geography of where we live is you have Saratoga County on one side.
You were on the other side of the river.
You got
Yep.
the Hudson River and like never the two shall meet type of deal. And so the tour was at Allen Waite Farm. And I remember driving down Route 40 between Greenwich and Schaghticoke for the first time ever. And I had been raised on a farm, but in Saratoga County, you have the farm and then you have woods and you have houses. Like it's not open. And I'm driving down Route 40, and anybody who knows what these views are, it's like open sunset, and it's just farm after farm after farm. And then we turn down, I'm like, where have I been transported? And we went to Allen Waite, and they had like a carousel parlor and all this stuff. And it was a great experience. And I met Travis there, and the rest is history. And, we got married. And then I did teach global studies for several years in a public high school. And when I had Lucy, I decided to step back and enter the role of mom. So that's what I did for a very long time, was just kind of pour into my kids, take that time. I feel so blessed that I had that opportunity to do that with them. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And that kind of got me to current events or more recent events.
So I have to go back on you now. So you show up at Travis's farm, and how did this go down? You can share as much or as little as you want to, but like, you show up, hey, I'm here for a tour and a husband. Like,
Yeah, pretty much. Well, he focuses more on the field and crop sides of the farm. And my brother-in-law, Aaron, is the dairy manager. And they all have a lot of other roles. But he wasn't at the tour of the parlor. And then afterward, there was like an ice cream social at the Schaghticoke Fairground. And so I left with my friend and we went down there. And I guess Travis like stumbled in from the fields and said to his brother, oh, how was the tour? And he goes, well, there was this cute girl. Maybe you should go down there. So my brother-in-law is kind of a little partially responsible, because then Travis magically was showered and had clean clothes and showed up at the ice cream social. And actually, when I first saw him, he had graduated from Cornell, and he kind of had that AGR swag that was annoying to me at that point. And so we really barely spoke. But I had his like number. And then I think it was like 2 months later, my mom went to I think like a farm credit meeting. And I was home for the weekend from college, and she got home and she goes, I found the cutest boy for your sister, Mackenzie. And I'm like, who was it? And she goes, it's this handsome young man named Travis Allen. And I was like, nope, that's mine. So, the
hold up, that's my arranged marriage. Get out of here.
Yes. So
Tell my sister to go elsewhere.
The next thing you know, what was it? What was the messaging app that we all used? AOL, AIM. Yep. And then the rest is history.
So it was an AIM?
It was. I have to, give credit where credit is due.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And it's funny we bring up the AIM thing, because my husband and I were just talking about this yesterday, because every once in a while we'll say something. Do you remember how when you weren't there, you'd put like a fun,
oh yes,
like your away message?
Yes, you're answering machine.
And it's not coming to me what he said right now, but it was like just one of the oldies, and he just like threw it into conversation. And I was like, I think we just went back like 20 years. What just happened?
That's fun.
Chilling like a villain that is up to no good. That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. No, when the kids are like annoying me with Skibbity Toilet Rizzler and 6-7, I was complaining to Travis. I'm like, this is like outrageous brain rot. And he's like, do you remember chilling like a villain and like all that and a bag of potato chips? And okay. We were equally stupid when we were young. So
we just don't remember it.
Yes, we blocked it.
And then we randomly get flashbacks of it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. That's my new thing is when they try to say 6-7, I'm like, no, I was born in 369. So it's 3-7.
Nice.
And then they're like, they roll their eyes because 10-year-olds and
I know.
Like, whatever, mom. And
oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Don't say it, and I won't say what I have to say.
Yep.
To disagree on that. So I guess tracking back a little further in your story, how you were active in all sorts of different other organizations growing up on the farm. So it kind of brings back that theme of like gee, why are we perpetually busy? Well, our
Yeah.
child definitely has a lot to do with that because of all the different things.
Yes.
So, if you want to kind of touch on some of the other things that you were involved in besides the farm when you were a kid.
Yeah, so that's actually a good point. Isn't it crazy? Like my memory, like you're like, oh wait, I was involved in a lot of stuff. My mom was the most incredible mom in all the land. I know everybody says it, but she is amazing. She's an amazing person, and she was not raised on a dairy farm, but she very much jumped into it and helped us in that dairy world. So we were all involved in the Tri-County Holstein Association. We were involved in the Dairy Princess Association. We were in FFA and 4-H and, all the sports, all the musicals, everything you can imagine. And I actually, I always think it's funny because I think Travis's mom, they were homeschooled and then they went to a Christian school. So even though we grew up like 25 minutes apart in the same very small ag world, I didn't know he existed until the day I met him because they weren't doing those dairy world things, if that makes sense. And we were. But I won the New York State FFA prepared public speaking contest, got to go to nationals for that. And then actually, singing was always a really big part of my life growing up. And so I actually was selected to sing at national convention, which was a crazy experience singing in Freedom Hall in front of, I don't even know how many thousands and thousands of people. I used to think it was like 20,000 people, but I'm not sure what it was. But it was crazy. And the craziest part of all is, now you can look up any song and you can get the background track and you can perform to it. Well, in 2004 or 2005, you had to order a CD that had like the background track. So I was cheap and I ordered two. So I had a Shania Twain and then I had a Patsy Gifford. I don't know why. Or no, Patsy. Is it Patsy Gifford? I try to think about Elvis. Patsy Cline. Patsy
That's time.
Cline. Patsy Gifford ran New York Holstein Association.
Yes.
Patsy
That's what I was like,
Cline.
wait a second.
And so when they go over your songs and they select what you're going to sing on the big stage, I think where they were going was the Shania Twain songs are all kind of like melancholy and love. And the Patsy Cline songs, which are a lot older and a lot cheesier, are a lot more fun. So I sang in front of all of these people the song, I Try to Think About Elvis. And the craziest part of the whole thing is there's no recording.
Ah, before camera phone.
Before camera phones, before there's no proof that any of this stuff ever happened, which is so crazy, but it was a great experience. And so I swore that when I had kids, we wouldn't be as busy. And I think we're just as busy as we were growing up, but all really great experiences and really great organizations. And I don't know if there's any other community that has as many opportunities for professional development as the ag community, which is kind of crazy that you can do Dairy Bowl or Dairy Club, or you can show. We always showed cows growing up. We were very involved in the Saratoga County Fair. You can do FFA, the Dairy Princess. There's so many opportunities that it's like pick what you like. And my mom picked everyone, so we did all of them.
Yes. Or mama kind of subtly bumped you over there. Like,
Oh yeah, I don't know if she was subtle. My mom was just like, "We're
yeah,
going."
your mom is not subtle.
No,
She would just be like, hey, you.
it's like, yeah, this is good for you. You're doing it. So
Yeah.
how we did it.
Your mama had 3 girls to wrangle, so.
Yes, yes. And my sisters are like the best people in all. Like, I love my sisters. They're amazing. So, whatever she did, I'm taking notes. I'm trying to do it again because I have my oldest three are 3 girls. And so it's like I think it's a lot of fun for my parents because it's a little bit of a blast from the past. Like, they're reliving 3 girls, very close in age, and they're just like us. So, it's just funny how that goes.
Yeah, and what did your older sister think of you stealing her man?
Oh my gosh, so funny. She was like, "What?" Like, I'm not interested. So it was never a conflict. It
You
was
were
good.
like, good thing because he's mine. I already
Yes,
claimed him.
exactly. She stole my wedding date. So I
Oh,
stole her potential fiance, Yeah.
the nerve that
No, right? It was a big deal when we got engaged, I was 21. I was a baby, but I thought that I had waited so long and that like it was terrible. I was just beside myself, desperate to get engaged. And it has worked out. But my sister had started dating her husband a year after Travis and I had started dating. And Travis was preparing to propose, and Jared proposed to Mackenzie. And I think I just looked at him like, no. So, but it all worked out because she was in Texas and I was in New York, and we got married in June and July.
of the
My
same.
my mom and I basically planned both of the weddings, and they were the same wedding, but with like we would kind of swap out colors or like a little bit of the food, but you know, it was a very practical way to plan two weddings. And we both are so like we love our husbands and where God has put us in our lives. So it worked out to do it that way.
That's awesome. And your poor parents having two girls get married within a month of each other.
I know, right? I know. That's now that I have girls that are like, we're still a good decade out, but I'm always looking forward, and I'm thinking, man, how do we
This
do
could
that?
really go crazy fast.
Yes. Well, I feel like life has gone crazy fast. And like I was saying earlier, everybody tells you it, but it's so true. I think in my life, I always felt like I was the main character. And now I'm looking around me at these young women and I'm like, oh, wait, you're the main character now. And I'm the
I'm
old
old
mom.
news.
Yes. And this is your life story and your love story. And like, it's crazy, but it's good. It's how it's meant to be.
It is. It's crazy how things change. It is. It is. So, fast forwarding into, you stepped back from teaching when you became a mom and you were able to spend those years with your kids. But then all of a sudden you ended up with a cut flower business. So,
Yes.
how does this go about happen?
So I have always had a love for horticulture. Like I would help my mom design gardens around her house. And actually, my original degree that I wanted to get was in like landscape architecture, and it just didn't happen. But I love flowers. I think that that's the romantic side of me. Like I love things that are beautiful. And the older that I've realized that like God put that in me. Like I have a love of his beauty and like cultivating it and sharing it. And it's like, it's part of who I am. I just love it. And I know that it's cool to me. I have friends who could care less. Like they do not care if there are flowers in their yard or, that's just not how they were created. So we went through a time period where there was six of us in a 1,000 square foot house with a dingy basement and no attic. And we were hoping and praying that we would wind up living in Travis's grandpa's house. And it was a really difficult time as far as like we were bursting at the seams. And I'm a planner and this is what I really, really was hoping would happen. So thankful that we eventually moved into our current house. We built a full wing. Travis's grandpa moved into the apartment in the wing. And then we renovated the rest of the house. We lived together for 3 years before he passed away. And now I get to live every day in my dream house, which is like incredible. But I remember it was like the first or second summer in the new house. Now I've got this giant island and it was a dry summer and I was going around the whole yard just trying to get enough flowers to make a single vase and I didn't have it. So I decided I was going to grow myself a cut flower garden, which from a farmer that's a novel concept, right? It's not productive, it's not something you can eat. And so that winter, I was on Johnny's and I was ordering some seeds for cut flowers. And I think I bought like, I don't even know, maybe like $200 worth of seeds, not a ton. And I turned to Travis and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not going to believe what I just spent all this money on. And he goes, well, maybe you could sell some of them. because, like the ag business mind is always thinking
Yep.
like, what's next? Um, so that spring, I planted my first cut flower garden and started selling bouquets here from the house. And the flowers were
Year was that?
2021 was the first year I sold flowers. And they were hideous. They were lime green and bright orange and like the craziest colors. And the arrangements were wild, but I was hooked. Like I loved it. I knew it was something that I could do. And so I have learned so much. It is incredible to me. There's a lot of negative things about the internet and social media, but there is a lot of good. And you can learn how to do virtually anything. And so I just watched and absorbed and read and learned everything that I needed to learn and came back the next year. And every year, our business, my business has grown and grown. And it's really exciting for a lot of reasons. One of them is our dairy farm has also grown and grown and grown over the last 15 years. And I want my kids to have that same experience I had of working on a farm and not and being safe. And I think that that's the hard thing sometimes when family farms grow and grow is it's hard to put kids in positions where they can learn to work and be safe at the same time. And like I had the experience of growing up on a dairy farm and then walking away from that and having my cousins, think I'm so thankful, like take over the farm and move it forward. And I thought sometimes, and I know this is not like the politically correct thing to say, sometimes it's very difficult for women to be equal partners in a dairy business. A lot of farms have that equal work, equal ownership type of thing, but how can you work equally if you're also expected to raise your children and run your house and all of those other things? And so my hope is that Lane House Florals would grow into a business where if my daughters want to take it on and want to expand it or want to branch out, it just gives them more opportunities of like a place to start. So that's why the whole flower thing started. Um, and so I initially built a little shop right by a little local restaurant on one of the roads near me. And I had bouquets out there. And it was really difficult because some days all the bouquets would sell, some days none of them would. And the problem with flowers is they're a perishable good. So if they don't sell, you're trashing them or you're keeping them for yourself. The first year I had a very flower-filled house because like they weren't always selling. And that's when I was introduced to the concept of bouquet clubs, where it's kind of like a CSA. People pay ahead of time. They get on the list. So it's beneficial for them because they know exactly when they're going to get flowers. The flowers are going to be reserved for them. If they're coming home from work at 7:30, that flower is still going to be there for them. And for me, it was beneficial because I just wasn't wasting my time, my energy, and flowers. So the Bouquet Club has really helped me to grow that part of the business, which is actually, it's a huge blessing just doing the roadside flowers. And I now do them. I have a shop in Saratoga and a shop here in Easton. So it's pretty cool.
That's really neat to see how you've managed to grow it and turn it into an actual business. That was just one thing that you were like, well, I really want flowers for my house.
Yeah.
To take it and make it into a business and a business that is thriving and growing and, doing different things, diversifying is really neat to hear. And it's been really cool to see you grow it. And of course, I always love just seeing the content of flowers
Well,
on your Instagram because nothing brightens your day like looking and being like, wow, they're beautiful.
Well,
So,
that's a big part of it that I didn't realize. Like social media is a whole section of the business that I didn't fully anticipate. And I know we were talking earlier, like this is super awkward to me to like, I'm looking into your eyes and I'm talking to you. But what I'm used to is holding up my silly phone and talking to myself for my Instagram, Lane House Florals. And it was something that when I started doing it, which I started doing it as soon as I started. So it's been 5 years now, which is crazy to think that 2021 was 5 years ago. But
Not quite.
this
She's
spring,
pushing.
I know, like it's been 5 full seasons now. But the thing that I realized, it felt so uncomfortable to put myself out there and so cheesy to be like talking to your phone on social media. But I had so many people who would send me messages saying, like, I love that you get on there and you talk about the flowers and you show us what you're doing. And like, I love your content. And then even through the creation of like reels, there were several years where I was doing a reel a day, which is just exhausting to think about. I've definitely stepped back from that. And I would have people, because what they want you to do on reels is like flashy and how to and blah blah blah. And what I wanted my reels to be were, look at these flowers, listen to this like beautiful music, and just feel like, look what God has done, look what he's created.
And
And
now you want them in your kitchen.
yes, you want to come buy them, so, or you want to grow them, because the tubers is a whole thing. So I had so many people who would just say to me that seeing those reels every day was like their moment of relaxation in their day. And so that was really encouraging to me, that what I felt was really embarrassing was being used for something valuable. I will say, I don't know why, but like on Instagram, I could talk all day to my flower people. Does not make me feel weird. But when my videos upload on Facebook and it's all the people in my community, Val, it's like mortifying. And I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is, but it feels very weird. So
But you're
for me,
doing it anyways
I'm
because
doing it.
you're doing the things.
Yes.
And you said you have now gotten into doing some weddings and things like that. How did you, that's a whole thing, going outside your comfort zone to like provide flowers for someone's wedding. And
Yes.
I know it from the food standpoint, but how did you get into that and what was that like for you?
So the weddings is like, to me, I think of my business as 3 pieces. So weddings as one whole piece. And I remember saying to my sister-in-law when I started, I'm like, 15 years from now, I just envision having brides and their moms come in and sit at my table and plan their weddings. And then, like 2 years later, I had brides and their moms coming in and planning their weddings. So it all kind of started with, I knew the mom of the bride, and she said, "Do you do wedding flowers?" And I agreed. And I would say to anybody out there who is starting a business, I so strongly feel that like the biggest part of it is just doing it, just saying yes. It's like agreeing to have another child. Like, you're never going to be ready. It's never going to be the perfect time. The people who succeed in life are the people who just do the thing. And then the second step is they keep doing the thing even when it's not working. Like, I feel like everybody starts something and then they give up. Start and give up. Like, keep going. So with the weddings, the first wedding I did was huge. I mean, like this giant arbor, this long head table. I had my mom and my best friend come, and they helped me do it. And the flowers were incredible, and the arrangements were incredible. And I realized I can actually do this. Like, as soon as a wedding photographer comes in and takes pictures of your flowers, you realize those are just as good as all of the professional ones. It's just the professional photographer like takes it to the next level. And so I started doing weddings. And fortunately for me, wedding season, I don't know if you've noticed this, like wedding season is now fall.
Yes.
Like, it used to be spring was wedding
It used to
season.
be June.
Yes. Which
June was where it was at.
we now have a little peony field. So I'm okay if June wants to make a little comeback in the next couple years. But my main flower crop and like my main thing is dahlias. And dahlias are blooming September, October, the end of August in zone 5B where we live. So it affords me like these very high end, beautiful fresh cut flowers to use in all of these weddings. And it's like the pressure is so much more because it's someone's special day, but the amount of like creativity that I feel like flowing through me, as silly as that is, like on my flower days before the wedding where I'm creating these arrangements, like it's life-giving. It's exhausting, but it's like when you're like doing something in your purpose and you feel like, okay, this is what like God has given me this ability to do it and it feels good to do that thing. And when you're designing for weddings, it's really fun, but it's a lot of pressure, but I love it. And it's a huge part financially of Lane House Florals. So it's good. And one thing I use like 99.9% flowers that are grown here at the house. So that lets me offer brides much lower prices. And it also offers me the ability to say, because these are my prices, this is what I offer. Like we're not importing some exotic thing from South America. This is what we have. Fortunately, it's a time right now where brides love local, fresh flowers. So it's all kind of just fallen into place.
I love that. And I completely get that whole like you just kind of have to do it. And that's how we had roundabout started catering weddings because
Yes.
I had a friend getting married and she was like, "No, I want you guys to do the food." And we're like, "Oh, I don't know. We've never done a wedding before." Like, whoa, I trust you. I want you to do this. And we were like, "Okay, we'll do this." And then from there, our business just grew from word of mouth,
How
which
many events do you do a year?
uh, we are pretty solid on at least weekends, a lot of times through the week, from the beginning of April to mid-November. So right now.
That's so crazy.
And that's about when the food truck runs as well. But now we've gotten to the point where we're catering holiday parties, we're catering, retirement we're catering all sorts of other things all throughout the year. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it it's a little part-time food truck thing that's now its own full-time business alongside.
Yes.
So
Yes. That's amazing.
but it's good. And I mean, so this past year, gosh, we probably catered 20, I mean, probably close to 20 weddings.
That's
And
amazing.
it's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You'll get that pressure of like, I need to make sure this is perfect.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to affect every single person at the wedding. Like, the food has to be good. And,
Yes.
that's what we pride ourselves on. So,
And we live in the world of social media where, like, one bad review, one person, and they can go on a campaign to destroy you, which is so hard. And food and flowers are both, like, you know, perishable. Like, you have to
yep.
order things in, and it's tricky to allot for a big event and make sure you have everything you need. And so
Oh,
that's
yeah.
always something like that I struggle with. And luckily, I've had very few bad experiences, but I'm always hyper aware. Like, if I screw this up, it's over because they're going to
Yep.
just, burn me at the internet stake, which is really
Yep.
stressful.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately, it's the name of the game at this point.
Yeah.
But then I try to sit back and look at how many good things we've gained from social
Yeah.
media. So, you got to let it balance, I guess.
100%. Yeah. Yes.
But it's always amazing when you get that like follow-up email from a bride, like, "Oh my gosh, it was everything we imagined and more." And those are
Yes.
days that make all that stress worth it because you're
Yes.
like, "Oh my gosh."
And it's so
Right.
crazy. I so feel that because I have heard other wedding florists say the same thing. When I am like delivering people their bridal bouquet, I have this feeling of like guilt of like, are they going to hate it? Like I don't want to see their face when I give it to them. And then every single bride is like, these flowers are gorgeous. Like they exceeded my expectations, but still to this day, I'm like, is it going to be good enough? I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know. Yes, yes,
And here we are. We're getting it done though.
yes.
So I love it. So I want to transition a little bit to just some fun rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Morning person or night owl?
Neither. I like to sleep, but I I don't know if my kids let me.
I always know that when people there's like the telltale look of like,
Oh, I would
and
like to
that's
sleep
exactly
in and go
what
to bed
I'm.
early.
Yes, same. So I always like that question because I'm like, yes, we have that in common because
Yes.
I would love to be a morning person, but I am 100% not a morning person.
I'm with you.
Yep. And then I get stressed and my husband would be like, "Well, if you got up earlier, you could get more things done." And I'm like, "But I don't want to."
I just saw a study the other day that it says that moms who've had more than two children are like sleep deprived for years and years after. So
Okay.
there's our excuse.
That's my excuse. Sweet or savory?
Both. I don't. No, I like food. I like sauces. Everybody who knows me will tell you, like, I am a sauce person. I eat food for the sauce. So I like sweet. I like savory.
As long as it's got a good sauce.
As long as it's got a good sauce, I'm there for it. Yep.
That my father-in-law is kind of like that. He's a gravy.
Oh
I've
yeah.
never had so much gravy in my entire life.
Oh yes.
His favorite meals have a gravy. Like
Yep.
we're all about the gravy.
Yep.
So, let's see. Because you're into history, if you could go back and meet any historical figure, who would it be?
Well, this is an easy question for me because, like, the most important thing in all of my life is my faith. So I would go meet Jesus. But, the good news is I believe I'll get to meet him. So even though he was in the past, I have so many questions, and a lot of them are about history. I told my kids the other day, like, I'm a crazy person. I said, I cannot wait till I get to heaven's history class. And I get explained about, like, tell me about those giant bones. Tell me about this. Tell me about, like, I want to know everything. So, yes, that would be my answer.
Like it. And that was like, she had that
Oh,
coming.
yeah. Yeah.
Pizza or burgers?
Pizza. Growing up on the farm, we had hamburgers so much because we had free beef that now my children are like the opposite because I make them eat chicken all the time. And like beef is a delicacy. And I really need to balance that out. But
Serious
I know.
eating beef, and I still am just like beef.
He got burned out on beef, I think.
We got to work on that. Let's see. What is your favorite way to relax? Because we need to relax at some point.
Relax?
Yeah, I know. It's
What
a
is
hard
that?
word.
What does that mean? I don't think you know what it is either. I would say this is a bad answer too. Like spending time in my garden is relaxing to me, but usually I'm working. I don't know.
There's something therapeutic about, having your hands in the soil.
Yeah. I listen to a lot of podcasts when I'm in the garden, which I think is probably not good for like my ears and probably not good for my mind to constantly have like information buzzing around. But I feel like that's relaxing is like get a good podcast, nice weather, time in the garden. That would probably be it for me.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
Mine is in the bathtub after I get the kids to bed with a nice book.
We don't have a bathtub and I wish we did.
Oh no.
Sad.
That's a real big misstep.
I know. I know. We have like a little tiny one that like little baby kids would fit in, but like my knees are up and I'm too big for it.
Just not relaxed. Mine is not the biggest, roomiest, but I make do.
Yeah.
I really look forward because I get cold in the winter and I'm always cold.
Yes.
So I make a nice hot bath, put some Epsom salts in there, and read my Kindle.
That sounds good. That
And
sounds good.
It's where it's at. So seeing as you can't get that, be like, Travis, I need a hot tub.
I know. I actually have floated this idea before, but I think there's other things on my project list that would come above a hot tub. So, have to wait for now.
Oh man. Let's see. Are you board game or card game?
Ooh. I would say card game. I really love word games like Quiddler, and it's a really good one. But I like a lot of games. I love Rummikub, which I guess would be a board game. And there's just some really fun ones. My sister bought one. What was it? Ransom Notes is hilarious.
I think I've seen that. I think it's popped up on my social media before.
It's worth it. It's very, very funny. You got to play it with the right crew.
Yes.
But you have all these random words and then you have to like come up with your ransom note and it can be hilarious. So that's a good one.
Okay. I'm going to have to make a note on that.
Yeah.
When it gets winter, is it something that the kids can play or should I not play with kids?
They could play it. It could go naughty, like not super naughty because I'm not, but it could go a little naughty or you could keep it nice.
Okay.
But there might be a lot of like third grade boy, like toot fart words that they could probably
They'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We could work with that.
Yeah.
What is your go-to comfort food?
Oh, my favorite food is in Schuylerville, Joy Walk Chinese, General Tso chicken. It's so spicy. It's so good. I would eat it all the time, but I can't. But I love it so much.
She knew exactly where she was going with that.
I told you I'm a food person. Like I love a good meal.
Chinese food is so good.
It's so good.
It's
Each
like
place has its own like flavor. So, you
Yep.
don't get bored, because if you get bored with one, you go to the other and it's a whole different recipe.
Or you have like your ride or die Chinese place.
Mhm.
A place down the road, to heck with them. They're not good. Like,
So it's funny because there's two Chinese places that are 10 minutes apart, like in our community. And I am like Joy Walk all the way. And my daughter, Penelope, is Panda all the way. She, like, if I get my face, she will refuse to eat it. And I'm like, it's the same thing, won't eat it. And I feel the same way. Like, we're always in a battle about whose Chinese place is better.
pick up Chinese. We're gonna pick up one order from this restaurant, one order from
Well,
this restaurant.
luckily for me, I am the mom, so I get veto power.
I'm purchasing, so I get what I want.
Yes.
You had twins tie.
I have had it one time, and I want to try it again, but if I get, like, the green light for takeout, I love the Chinese so much that, like, I always go for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know what to order at Twins Thai, but I hear it's amazing.
The pad thai is really good.
Okay. Is that like peanut butter?
It's got peanut in it.
Like a peanut.
Yeah. Which, if you don't, which you said you like spicy, it's pretty spicy.
I like
I
spicy.
no spicy because I can't eat spicy. So,
Uh,
but I mean, and that's one of those things, like, I always forget to go in that direction for stuff. I always go the other way.
yeah.
So I miss out sometimes.
And
But I'm like, ah, crap. Like, I really want to get that.
yes, our school's right there, so I drive by there, like, every day, so
Yeah.
I gotta
So
try it.
hit it up. It's delicious. So awesome. And let's see, a favorite place you've ever traveled.
So everybody in my family makes fun of me because, like, Travis has traveled the world. Like, he's lived in New Zealand, he's traveled all over Europe, like he's traveled all over. I have not, and I could care less to travel. I am such a homebody, and I love my home so much. It drives my sisters crazy because they've both moved away and they always want me to come visit them, and I don't want to. Love
You come
I
see me, really.
I know, I love Easton. I love Easton, but my favorite place that we go, and is so silly, is we go to Maine every summer to the beach, and it's just so many traditions, which I feel like every farm family from our whole area goes to the same place. Everybody goes to York Beach or Algonquin, but yeah, I'm not much for travel. Which I'm fine with, because I would rather spend my time and my money making my home like a place I want to be every single day, rather than like save up like $5,000 to go to Disney. I'll take that money and like I don't know, do something at my house.
Yeah. And heck, 5,000 at Disney won't get you and your family a five there. That's for sure.
That's the problem. We're
It's
so
so
big.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so expensive. I have a family of like total five, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I want them to go experience it because I remember going as a kid, and I'm like, can't afford this
Yeah.
crap. Like, what the heck?
If we go to McDonald's with our family and I'll make like everybody share, I know all like the bonus things, it's still like $60 for us to go to McDonald's. So I'm like, for us to go to Disney, I don't think that's in the cards, and I'm okay.
Pick one of you. You can all figure out who gets to be the representative.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I know you're a homebody, but if you and Travis could just get away, just you and him, to a cool vacation, where would you go?
I would actually really love to go to California, which I know there's bad parts of California, but I would love to go up the coast. I would love to see some of the agriculture in the south of California. This is if I could just not have to fly there and I could appear there. I think that
Oh, blink and
I
there
think
you are.
the California coast has some real natural beauty, and like people forget how much agriculture is in
Yeah,
California. And I would like to see that. I think that would be a fun place to go.
it is beautiful.
Travis actually went, there was a Kloss Chopper event in California, and he went for a day from New York to California and came back. And I said to him, like, was that worth it? Was that worth it? And he's like, I don't know. That is a rough trip to fly to California and back.
It's back in one day is a lot,
Yeah.
but awesome. And so I guess your deeper thought question, if you could go back and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Ooh, that is a good question. I'm a person who always has questions at like, I always love good questions. That's a good one. What would I tell my younger self? I think I would tell my younger self it's going to be okay. I think I was so anxious about a lot of stuff. And I think the advice I would give to my younger self is like these things that feel like they are the end of the world and like you can't get past them, like you will. And there's so much beauty and so much goodness in the future. And I think for me, like I was raised in church, but when I was 19, I was at Loudonville Community Church. And that's kind of where I had like there was a message that the pastor was giving, and it was about the night that the disciples were in the boat with Jesus, and the storm came, and Jesus was asleep, and they were crying out, and they were so afraid. And he finally woke up and he calmed the storm, and he's like, "Don't you trust me?" And what the pastor was saying was in that story, basically, they weren't afraid of the storm. They were afraid that they were alone, that God was not coming to save them. He wasn't there, and it was just them. And I felt that so much. I mean, I had a beautiful childhood, but I think in my heart of hearts, like we all have that feeling of like, I'm alone. Nobody's coming to save me. Like this is it. And when I met Jesus and had that relationship and I realized, oh no, there's someone who is there, who is going to save me. And I think that that's what I would have told my younger self is like, you're not alone. This is not the end of the world. Like God has a plan and purpose for your life. And that's what I try to tell my kids all the time. Like it's so hard when things seem so intense and like life or death, and they're not. They're really, really not. That's a very long answer, but that's what I would tell to my very anxious younger self.
Yes, definitely. And with that, what quote do you have for us today?
So my quote is ever changing. I always have new quotes. And I saw this one actually on social media because social media has some good things. And it's from C.S. Lewis, who I love C.S. Lewis, and it's from Till We Have Faces. And the quote is the sweetest thing in all my life has been the longing to reach the mountain, to find the place where all the beauty came from. And I think that's what God has put in me is I just long to know. I look at these flowers, I look at these children, I look at the friends and the people around me, and I think, where did that beauty come from? Like I know it came from somewhere beyond the mountain, and I can't wait to know the fullness of where it came from. So that is my favorite quote.
It's beautiful. I love that. And it tracks very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. So, Samantha, where can people follow you to see your beautiful flowers?
Come follow me at Lane House Florals on Instagram. I also have Facebook, but I'm so negligent with my Facebook. And I really am committed this winter to getting my Facebook a little more in sync. And I also just started a YouTube channel, which is Lane House Florals. And I'm hoping to share some more in depth videos about things like dividing dahlias and growing flowers and things that you just can't squeeze into an Instagram reel. But if you want to have the most access to the photos and the videos of the flowers, Instagram, Lane House Florals.
Awesome. And I will be sure to put that in the show notes for everybody as well. So, with that, thank you all so much for listening today. Thank you, Samantha, for joining me. It was absolutely awesome to hear the story of your journey and how you got to where you are because it is really a great story and so inspirational to many. And I appreciate that. And thank you all so much for listening. Please leave us a review, share with a friend, do all of those fun things. And we will talk to you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.